Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 111.
One.
My name's Ingo Weigold.
I'm Matt Griffith. This is the MMA show by MMA fans, for MMA fans, where we walk the line between serious and ridiculous. Before we start, I just want to thank Jesus Christ for giving me the power to drink this beer and to deliver yet another awesome show.
Praise the Lord. I personally would like to...
I don't know. Go ahead.
I want to thank Nikolai Hartman for sending me some cool beers. I'm drinking Nut Hugger Brown Ale, and I have a Three Floyds Robert the Bruce Ale here with me. Nikolai, thank you. We have something coming your way as well soon, maybe. If it's legal or legal, I don't know.
If it's black, if it's white, it's Michael Jackson.
Did you say Jesus or God?
I'm going with Jesus Christ.
Okay.
It seems to be the trendy thing of late.
Nikolai, you are now next to Jesus as far as the show is concerned. Thank you for the beer.
But have you noticed all the fighters of late? That's why I jest about
Thanking Jesus?
Yes.
Don't they always do that?
That's the first thing out of their mouths in the post-fight press conference or interview is like, I just want to thank Jesus Christ for giving me the power to beat some fucking serious ass.
Didn't Nate Marquardt say that? Strikeforce?
Yeah, he did. And I think a couple other guys did.
Maybe.
Does Jesus Christ really give them the power?
No, but maybe faith is important in this sport, especially where you're constantly taking punishment and putting yourselves in harm's way, kind of like soldiers or whoever. I mean, you know, people that are out there in the trenches, they need something to kind of ground their feeling of just uncontrollable.
Kind of like
violence.
a rodeo clown.
Try to connect the dots to that one.
Like a rodeo clown.
Get us there,
he's in the trenches.
Oh yeah, okay.
He needs to believe in something because he doesn't want to have a fucking horn jacked up his ass if he's a little too slow or if he's off his game.
Well, he believes in that bucket he jumps into.
Yeah, goddamn right. Because with that bucket, he
believes
ain't. Maybe his bucket is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are some tough motherfuckers, the rodeo guys.
Did they ever do a documentary about those guys? I think we talked about this.
I think they did, maybe.
They should. If they didn't, they should.
Those guys are breaking bones constantly and keep coming back.
I thought that was the baddest ass job you could ever have. The scariest one.
Yeah.
It was like those guys that they do that, like they sit in the middle of the bull ring, sit at a table, and then it's like whoever's the last person sitting at the table wins like $1,000 or $100.
You told me about
and
this
then the
before.
bull comes out and just starts tearing ass, and then like it's a game of chicken. Then
Just
like,
sit there.
I'm just gonna sit
Fuck
here.
that.
Fuck
It's
no,
not
I
worth
haven't played this game.
Getting
Fuck that
impaled
shit.
by a bull.
That is ridiculous.
So let's rein it back in.
Let's rein it back in.
Give us some news. Is there anything going on in MMA world this week?
Well, yeah, the Ronda Rousey nude pictures for ESPN, which have circulated now.
Okay.
Thoughts? Has your opinion of her changed?
Well, we talked about this before we started taping. I think physically she's quite attractive when she's in competition. I think out of competition...
Oh, you like the Princess Leia knobbies then? Or?
No. I'm saying out
those?
of competition, she may be... like be one of those, like, you gotta watch, what is that term for girls?
She might like to eat a little too much?
Maybe. She seems like she'd be pretty thick if she wasn't like working out all the time. So not like Gina Carano thick, but like really thick. Anyways, I mean the pictures are nice. Every time I look, I just don't want her to talk. I really don't. She just annoys me. I don't know why.
Just say it. You want to punch her in the face?
No, I don't hit a woman, but I would like to put a muzzle.
What if she asked you to hit her?
Well, then she's talking.
Then you need some duct tape, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You need some.
I don't even want to hear moans or anything. I just want to be quiet.
Shut up.
Totally be
Use
quiet.
my duct tape. I'll even throw like some special zebra duct tape on her.
Okay. Nice.
I'm just saying if she wanted it. I'm not going to do that. It's
Obviously, you're a fan.
Of what?
Ronda Rousey.
Not so much.
No?
You soured her to me.
After the Rogan podcast, I'm like, dude, this chick, I couldn't even listen to it. I was just, shut up.
Well, before she started talking, I was like, I'm in. This is the new one.
Yeah.
Then she started yapping. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out.
I got to be out. It's got to be the full package.
I think there's a draft in here, Ingo.
Oh, no.
Look
what Matt did.
I had a mishap. No, I didn't.
Did you fall into a bag of razors?
Yeah. I had a mohawk for about 3 hours.
You should have kept the mohawk.
And then I was like, fuck this. I'm not 10.
What? You should have kept
I'm not an MMA fighter.
Pretty awesome, though.
Fuck it.
Should have painted it purple.
Well, I could still, like, do the racing stripe down the middle, and then I could, like, paint. I could fucking Chuck Liddell it up or
You should
something.
just do it.
What?
I don't know. I think you
Put
should
a tattoo.
No, like you should do the mohawk and make
Yeah.
it all crazy and just document your life for like a few days and see if people treat you different.
Oh my God, it would be totally different.
See how
That'd be
you-
kind of fun. I'll wear
interesting.
that little camera we have and just see
Walk around and
what the
just kinda-
interactions are.
Try to go up and say hi to people. You know, just like random people on the street.
Should I do it in a professional wrestler voice, or do I talk? Is everything else normal?
You could try both. You could see like a what would you do? You ever watch that show? What would you do?
Mm-mm.
On is it on ABC?
I don't
They have
know.
all these scenarios they set up. Like there's hidden cams, and then they set up this bullshit like at a restaurant, like a dad and a son. They're both actors, and the son tells his dad he's gay, and then his dad goes all crazy, and then they get their interactions with the people around them. It's like, what would you do if you were in this
Yeah.
scene? There's all these scenarios, but that they kind of play it both ways all the time. So you got to show one and the other. You should do both. Be like all normal. Be like, hi, how are you? Or
How's it
maybe
going?
wear a suit. You know,
It's all good.
should do it. You could
How do I
do
do
it.
that?
I can't do that. You can do that.
Yeah, I can do that now.
Yes, you
I
can.
got a couple more months so I can do that.
Well, enjoy it while you can.
That's right. So, next topic. So, new fight announced. I was kind of disappointed. We got Brian Stann versus Michael Bisping,
Oh, brother.
which leaves Alan Belcher out in the cold. Because you have Lombard versus Boetsch. So, does that leave then Belfort versus Belcher? That seems to be the next one.
Maybe.
And then you also have Weidman, so it's like all these fights. Who the fuck gets the next crack at Anderson Silva?
Well, Weidman wants a shot after his recent win.
I think he can. I think he can actually beat Anderson.
That guy's
You-
been on our
dude.
radar for a while. We interviewed him a long time ago.
Did we? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we did. Really long time ago. It was like before when he was like his first fight out of the whatever that league is, KO or something in New York, wherever he fights. But I mean, he's tough. He's really tough. And every time you think like he's gonna hit the wall, he just keeps winning and winning and winning and winning.
Yeah.
So, but Anderson Silva, it's a little really
Yeah, he could. I'll go on record right now. Weidman will beat Silva
okay.
if he takes the fight down. He could,
To the
maybe
ground.
he beats him standing. I don't give a fuck.
Well, in a way, I think he might be stronger than Chael, but maybe not as technical of a wrestler. But he's got a better overall game because he's got a really powerful punch,
Yeah.
and his stand-up is decent. It just, I don't know. Who gets, so is that your question? Who gets a crack at
Yeah.
Silva?
Who gets Silva next? That's the thing.
I think, personally, for me, I would like to see Alan Belcher take it. I know that's your
I
boy.
want Belcher one more fight before he gets that one.
Why?
Because to fight Anderson Silva, I mean, it's a tough fight.
He's not ready now. When's he going to be ready?
One more fight.
They just want him to be
I
older.
want him to stomp Michael Bisping first,
Okay.
and then, but unfortunately, we're not going to get that.
Stan's good. Are they going to use like U.S. versus UK? Is this fight
Yeah,
in the UK?
that's what it is. But I think it's also a favorable matchup for Bisping. I think it's a more winnable fight for Bisping to fight Stann than it is to have Bisping versus Belcher.
Oh yeah.
Belcher
Stan's
poses
still
more
tough
of
as
a
hell.
risk. Yeah,
I mean, this is going to be interesting, I think.
it will be.
So.
So let's move right along. Next topic. I heard Jon Jones coming out, and he was
Of the closet?
again. Talking about fighting Anderson Silva, saying he didn't want to fight him because both of them are champions. They have too much on the line, and sponsorship deals, this and that. And he doesn't want to take that away from Anderson, and he doesn't want Anderson to take that away from him. And to me, it sounds kind of sissy. I don't know. We were talking beforehand. Would you ever hear fucking Chuck Liddell say some shit like this?
Or BJ Penn.
Right. No. If you're a fighter, don't
or
you
Randy
want to
Couture.
prove that you're the best fighter in the fucking world?
Still thinking, guys.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Tito Ortiz, anybody, I mean, maybe they think it, but would they say it publicly? I don't know.
well, that's the thing. Just if I was at the top of my game, I want to fight everybody. Fuck it. I'll fight anybody, anywhere,
Yeah.
any weight class, and they just do it at a fucking catch weight so that neither champion has to lose their belt.
Well, the question is, for me is
Uh-huh.
do the sponsors really, are they that fickle where a win-loss record is really what they're looking for? I mean, look
That's
at
what it sounds
look
like.
at a guy like Couture, who's if you want to talk fighters with crazy,
Mhm.
look at your boy Chris Lieben. I mean, exciting every single time, but isn't that what you at the end of the day, winning isn't. It's not boxing. It's not like about being 40-0. It's about coming and bringing it, and just keep coming and coming.
Chris Lytle.
Chris Lytle. Yeah, I mean, well, Chris won a lot too, though. But I don't know. I think Jones is just too young and maybe should just shut up sometimes.
Just shut up and fight. Shut the fuck up and
say
fight.
Shit that's on his mind that, maybe other more veteran guys would just maybe be thinking but not say to the media because it just sounds bad,
It does. He would have been better off not saying
He's
that.
a champ, and basically he sounds like he's scared to lose something.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What happened to... Because you could even put GSP in that category, too, where there's too much to lose, so I got to play everything safe, even to the point where it's detrimental to their fighting style.
Yeah.
I mean, that hasn't happened to Jones yet, and that hasn't happened to Silva, because both those guys still go out with intent to finish. I think GSP is the one who took it to the extreme and said, I have to play it so safe. I can't do that fucking accent. Lay it on me, Ingo. Do you have the GSP accent?
Me? I
Sure.
am not impressed by your performance, no.
We both don't have it. It's all right.
I can do the
It's all
French
good.
thing. I am not impressed by your performance.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm European. I'm not French. Sorry.
It's all good.
I can do the Russian or something.
Go ahead. We got it all day.
Nostrovia. Drink your vodka
Hey.
and whiskey.
How do you say yes?
Bolsheviks. I don't know. Fucking, I have no idea. I'm not Russian.
Yes.
I know Yugoslavian. You can say, how are you? Kakosi.
Whoa. Hey, my dick is gross too.
Yeah.
Hey, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Mm.
Salute.
All right. So let's shut this news down.
Okay.
I finally separated the nuts. It's a little awkward.
Good to have separated nuts.
Can you
Whenever
imagine
possible, if they were fused together.
Fuck that. Like if you had a separate sack for
a nut,
each
a
nut.
nut fusion.
If you will.
You gotta fuse them together. They work
So
better together.
let's touch base on this.
We kind of started
This
talking about
Weidman versus Munoz fight. Talk about a shellacking, because Weidman came out with a purpose, with some intent, and just fucking took it to Munoz, and it was pretty damn impressive. And I don't know if Munoz had a tough weight cut, because
looked a little heavy coming in,
and semi-retarded in like the pre-fight. I think it was the weigh-in day or right after weigh-ins. They were interviewing him, and he wasn't quite coherent with the responses and the questions. Are you gonna make it through the show?
I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
Wake up, bitch! I've had like 3 coffees or something. It's all good.
I didn't have my extra coffee. I'm sorry. I don't mean.
You should take a bite of the defense soap and see what happens.
That's gonna kill me.
I'm sure it'll all work
it's the
out.
beer. This is like.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't slip anything in them.
Yeah, Nikolai Hartman's like, let me put some sleeping pills.
Let me put a little LSD in here.
While he's taping the show, I'm gonna be passed out.
I didn't know you'd like to get wet. Like what? He's
Sorry.
tripping balls
put some
right now.
Jizz in his beer.
Mangoo.
It's all good. I like jizz.
Once again,
It's tasty.
I'm gonna just start like pulling baseball signals here.
What the fuck does that mean? I mean, shut up.
I mean, steal second.
Okay. Can I slide head first?
Yeah, that is the gayest thing ever. Like all these fuckers who slide head first, that is so retarded. Why? What's the point? Don't slide head first. Back to this fight. Ray Luongo is fucking huge, by the way. Oh my god.
Sarah are like eating that pasta. It's
Seriously,
awesome.
they're just
Every
going
time
to
I see
town.
Luongo, he gets bigger and bigger. It's great. He's Italian. What are you gonna do? He likes meatballs.
Cardio, eat like a champ, and train like a champ.
And provolone and buffalo mozzarella and
I don't know.
Ugats. That's what they say, I think.
But anyway, so that was Weidman Munoz. Next for these guys, don't know, because
I didn't see the fight. I just saw the finish. Did you think it was a late stoppage?
Oh my god.
Slowed it?
I don't know. 16 unanswered shots after that sweet elbow. So we should talk about that sweet elbow that he laid, because he throws the elbow and then he slips the punch at the same time. Munoz goes down and he just starts ringing him up. And who was it? Josh Rosenthal's the ref. He came out and said that he actually fucked this one up, and hey, I made a mistake. I should have probably stopped a little bit sooner.
He thought he saw something.
I saw a gleam in Munoz's eye, like he's gonna make a comeback. He looks like Czech Congo right now.
The next shot's gonna wake him up
For sure. Oh, that was bad.
On national TV, well, sort of. But I didn't see it because it's fucking fuel, and fuel blows, and I don't
There
know.
are ways to see these
I
things.
refuse. I say if they want me to watch their shit, it needs to be on TV. Fuck them.
It does, but we don't have choices here. We have Comcast, or what are you on?
I have WoW. Wide Open West.
Is that a World of Warcraft?
Exactly.
What's
wide open about it, I'd like to know, because it doesn't have this channel.
Well, I started looking at DirecTV, and I'm like, I can't do it. I know I won't get service
Fuck
when
that.
I need it.
Yeah.
If it rains, which it
Keith
hasn't in a while.
I asked Keith flat, I was like, well, what happens when it's a bad storm? He's like, oh, it doesn't work. I'm like,
I can't have
fuck
that.
He's like, that's why we have cable. I'm like, wait, you have cable and DirecTV? Fuck that. The cable never goes out. It always works. May not have the best channels and cost more, but I need it to work. Fuck you, Fuel TV.
No, Comcast. The carrier, not the channel.
Them and HDNet.
Again, Comcast, not the channel. Let's move right along.
Fair enough. So, this weekend, we just finished watching
Strikeforce!
Rockhold versus Kennedy! And Woodley versus Marquardt. You want to talk at all about the undercard or anything on the other? Why don't I make one comment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hydra Gracie.
Oh, you're going to go out of order?
Are we talking Hydra Gracie?
Oh, you can go.
Isn't that the first fight we want to discuss? Was there one prior?
Yeah, the Robbie Lawler fight.
Go ahead, sorry.
But before we get into this, I want to talk about the announcing crew. What's your take on that?
Well, I've learned to tune out everyone except Pat Miletich or Miletic. Miletic? What is it that Barao calls him now?
Well, because what is it? Hirota? He's like, you have to. Fucking Ronaldo was out of control with all the shit he's saying. He should just be like a professional wrestler, referee, or something.
He watches wrestling. I follow his Twitter, and he watches wrestling. Like, maybe that's where he gets his shit from. I don't know. Because I told you before the show, he had some kind of comment about berry picking season.
Yeah.
The guy got a nut shot.
Oh, it's like berry
picking, not kicking. I don't know. It's just...
It's not good, and Frank's doing the best he can with what he's got left. Miletich is still in the game. He's on top of the game, but
Jimmy Lennon Jr. looks like he's cracked out all the time. Whenever knows, like,
it's showtime. He's probably getting knobbers in the.
It's like, oh, I gotta go out there.
He is not gay.
Who?
That guy.
Oh, I don't know.
He looks gay as fuck.
Is that?
Can you say that?
Sure.
Awesome. But I want to say this about the Showtime. Their ring card cam fucking blows. The ring card girl cam.
Their girls are hot though.
Yeah, but they only show their tits for like 2 seconds and then boom. Where's the fucking ass shot? I'm a man. I want to see tits and ass.
It's a low production value affair because it's Strikeforce. They don't have the money. Those extra seconds are important.
But the UFC gets it. They get the front and the back. And the back. Well, they walk down and sit down and then I get a blow.
Strikeforce has like 4 of them too. So they got.
I can't even tell because I get 2 seconds of like tits. I don't know what else I'm working with. I don't know if I'm in, I'm out. I don't know if it's Chris Cyborg.
I think they might be better than the UFC girls.
They might be. They look a little healthier.
Got more talent there.
I can't quite tell though. So I'm just saying they need to pick up from the UFC of how they do their
fuck
cam.
their production. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Their production sucks.
Or just show them, like, maybe they should be bending over with the thing on their back.
I do like how they show live stats of, like, the significant punches and takedowns.
Yeah.
They always do that. Like, the UFC needs to start
doing that.
They
started doing that. The UFC just started doing that, but I think that was the Strikeforce infusion. It's all good. So, all right. Robbie Lawler, Lorenz, Larkin.
Yes.
Opinion, thoughts,
Bad
takeaways.
game plan by Lawler. Didn't he? I don't know. He wanted to grapple. I'm not sure why. He should have stayed on the outside and used. And it seems like Robbie is either on or off. Like there are days where
Katy Perry him. He's hot and cold.
He's hot and cold. He comes in like sometimes he wants to throw combos and he looks amazing, and then other times he comes in and he wants to just throw the power bomb, just over and over and over again, and it's just like, dude, you know it's coming. It's eventually.
Is he not the most devastating striker in Strikeforce
ever?
That's what they said.
He is. He's dangerous, and he did crack Larkin.
Early with the right hand, and like you said, the game plan was questionable because why isn't he throwing combinations? He's throwing single shots. Why is he trying to close the distance and it's just not working? And look at you just tearing him up.
Yeah, it was rough to watch, but you know, getting that money, getting paid.
That's what it's about. And okay, now we can go to the Dynamine, Keith
Versus
Jardine versus Roger Gracie. Let me just say, Keith Jardine, he's a tough son of a bitch, man.
He's very
I don't know,
tough.
fuck, he's game. He's game as hell. As long as he's in the game, he's still fighting. He doesn't give a fuck. You cut him, he doesn't care.
He gets cut every fight, though, right away.
It's unfortunate.
It was a nasty elbow from Hodger, who got mount like a couple of times.
Yeah, with mount with like an arm trapped, and he had to eat some elbows. But you know what? Third round, he came out and fucking rocked Hodger. I'm like, oh no. Like, this shit just got real. He's going to fucking knock him out.
Yep.
Like, Hodger needs to just take the fight down. Like, almost like how Maya is going back to his roots.
Yeah.
Hodger it's trying to strike too much. He can do it if he's in that clinch range, but when he's at distance, it's almost like he doesn't use his reach.
He's really tall, though, so it's like if they can teach him to use his jab better.
6'4".
Yeah. But the problem is I think jiu-jitsu guys have trouble with the stand-up because just like stand-up guys have trouble with grappling is because it's a different type of stamina game. So like if your muscles are not used to doing that stand-up stuff, I think he got tired. He always seems to get tired because on the ground, I think he's used to the energy and that.
Yeah, because he's usually on the top, is what it seems like.
Yeah, when Keith started to bring it in the third round, I was like, oh no, he's getting tired. He's got his hands. He kept shaking his hands out. You know, he's like he's getting knocked out.
I know. I saw that like King Mo look. I'm like, oh no, this could be very, very bad.
One thing I was surprised about, actually, and this was a good job actually by the announcing team. I mean, Jardine did a really phenomenal job protecting his neck during that. Well, Hodger had his back for for 3 minutes in the second round. It was amazing.
Both the first and the second round, defense. He defended all submissions. So, and they
is that
kept
a Bard's
pointing.
Beer, Matt?
Sure as shit is, as I drop it. But they kept pointing it out. Then they kept saying like Jardine's never been submitted.
Yeah, and he still hasn't.
They kept trying to jinx him. It's like. Oh, it's like in hockey. Oh, this team's got a shutout.
Yeah.
Like, you motherfuckers. And then the next series, they score.
Score right away. Or the kicker.
It always happens.
He hasn't missed in 25 attempts.
Why do they keep trying to do that to him?
Ding, right off the pole.
So ridiculous.
But, yeah, Jardine looked amazing. I thought for getting his ass kicked, he did a good job.
He's still in the game. He can take the beating.
I just worry about his health. I mean, the guy gets beat up every time
he beat Musasi.
I know.
Where's that guy? Is he still alive?
He's fighting overseas, I think, quite a bit. A couple times here or there. Man. Money's better over there. The hoes are better.
The hoes?
Money and hoes.
That's what it's about, man. Yes. Bling, bling.
So can we talk about Woodley and Marquardt?
Yeah.
Which is probably the fight of the card for me.
That was a fucking awesome fight.
It was amazing. I thought it was going to be over early when I think Woodley had Marquardt stumbling back pretty good for a second there, and then Marquardt recovered. Thought maybe Woodley made a mistake. He should have backed off and tried to keep striking instead of trying to grapple with him after he rocked him. But then Marquardt recovers, and I mean, you saw the finish. It was like Mortal Kombat style.
That was so awesome because it was 1, 2 elbow. It was right elbow, I think left elbow, right elbow to the back of the head, semi left hook uppercut, and then the big money right uppercut. Like, oh my God, that was fucking awesome. And then that's like the Marquardt of old, or I remember him just unleashing like these fucking crazy combinations and landing. And then that one, it was a 5-strike combo, and every one of them landed.
Yep.
Like, fuck.
That's how he gets you, man. And I thought the ref did a really good job of being right there. I don't know who that guy is. That dude was huge.
Yeah, I forgot.
He's a huge dude. I haven't seen him before, but I mean, he was like right there, and as soon as that uppercut, he's like, all right.
Well, Marquardt walked off after the uppercut. He knew it was done. He's like, I'm out. Thank God, Allah, whoever else.
He didn't knock Woodley like out cold, but he knocked. I mean, it was almost like a tree trunk just.
But it was a good back and forth fight too, because the first round they both dropped each other, and then, you know, I would say too, Marquardt going to 170 for the first time and actually fighting.
Looking good. Looked huge, I thought. Big.
Kept his stamina through 4 rounds.
Yep.
And it was kind of nice to see Woodley kind of get it handed to him, because he was always doing a little bit of the lay-in. I'm like, come on, man, get some action going. So hopefully, you know, he had to be more engaged in the stand-up in this fight, because Marquardt wasn't having any of this fucking takedown shit.
Yep.
So hopefully that guy bounces back. And
what about his mom?
I was just going to say, they said that was the fourth announcer. Like,
you could hear her the whole fight, man.
Well, remember when we saw that Strikeforce fight?
that was her,
and his
right?
mom was like going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, you can hear that through the whole arena.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I mean, it gets kind of quiet sometimes laying on top of a guy not doing much, but.
Not his mama. His mama's excited. They didn't show her after the knockout.
No,
thankfully.
not so much.
But he'll be fine. I think he'll come back, and this will be one of those where he chalks it up to experience and just kind of figures out what he needs to work on. But.
And the other thing that I want to mention, too, is, I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed this on the second time I watched the fight, that they need to do a better job of checking people's nails before they get into the hexagon in this case.
Okay.
Because, I don't know if you saw Nate Marquardt's back. It looked like he was, like, fucking some crack whore or something. The scratches, the shit.
No,
it's either he was fucking a crack whore or he's like a goddamn stunt double for Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon.
Really? No. Woodley have long nails, you think?
Well, somebody was scratching the fuck out of him. There were like 4, 8, at least 8 scratch marks.
Wow.
Deep, bloody, dripping blood. Check that out. No one mentioned that.
I thought there was a lot of strict rules about that, right?
There should be. They're supposed to check their nails. I think that was one of the things. I don't know when, but
fingernails, toenails.
Yeah. Someone had some long nails.
Maybe his girlfriend.
No, because he was fresh. He just had a little back knee, not any like scratchy marks.
Is he off the TRT?
That's what they say, but I still doubt it. How can you go on and off, Ingo? The doctors say you can't do that.
Well, according to the internets, which I read quite frequently, there is a plethora of drugs you can take in certain order to rejuvenate and jumpstart your natural hormone production. So apparently you can, so maybe you can't. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I don't dabble in the pharmaceutical of that type. So
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not. But he looked good.
Marquardt looked good at 170.
And he did say he was the best welterweight.
Walter.
In the ever.
Mathile? What?
I don't know. He's got a big head all of a sudden. I think that's a big.
Well, he always had a big Tito-sized head.
I think it's a big statement after one victory, after like a year.
Well, he had a long layoff, so
he's all excited.
Good for him.
But in Strikeforce being the champ, I think coming over back to the UFC, which I think is inevitable for this guy, I don't know. That's a tall. Really, is he better than GSP or all those guys?
No.
Nate Diaz. Actually, that's a fight I want to freaking see. No, sorry, Nick Diaz.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Those two guys. Nick with his peppering style and Nate with his combos and the ground game from...
Bring it on, make it happen!
Do it.
What's the next fight?
I don't know.
Because I kind of fell asleep.
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about this one. It's just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you know, Kennedy's a good, strong grappler, and I felt like he didn't have his game plan correct. He was, I don't know what he was doing.
Ranger up!
Yeah. Strong guy, Rockhold. I mean, I don't know. I had put this, after the first round, I put this thing on fast forward. I wasn't that excited about that.
Well, I fell asleep, and
yeah,
it should tell you something.
Yeah, it wasn't that exciting. It was 5 rounds of a lot of, you know, back and forth, nothing. I don't know. So the point is, I think Strikeforce has an opportunity to take some of these guys, and if they're not going to move them to the UFC, maybe they can set up some kind of cross super fight kind of thing, like.
So I thought we were going to get. They always talked about this. Yeah, we could have Strikeforce versus UFC. It'd be like Raw versus whatever. I don't know, wrestling analogy, but there's one in there.
What about Ultimate Fighter, Strikeforce versus Tough? But they bring in the young guys from all of the divisions, and then the winners get like a title fight or some bullshit. I don't know. Something. I feel like there's something there, and they're not capitalizing on the opportunity.
I feel like you're right. I think we should have Ring Card Girl versus Ring Card Girl.
Mud wrestling.
But somehow I feel Strikeforce is going to win because I think they have more than the pity 2 or 3 we have. I don't even know how many UFC has anymore.
I thought it was 3.
Who?
What? 3.
We have Brittany. Ariane.
And then there's that other blonde chick. Isn't there another blonde chick?
Did they hire someone new?
I think they did.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I thought there was 3. Yeah, 3.
Woo!
Oh, brother. This is a wacky show.
It sure is. And guess what it's time for? piss break number 1.
Already?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. It's all good. I got to piss fierce.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
You have some midgets juggle.
I think we're just going to go to break at this point. But we'll be back in a moment. Why don't you go grab a beer?
All right.
So we're back!
Just like that.
Just like that.
It's like magic.
Okay.
I didn't even put a main card thing. Take that, bitch.
That's all good.
UFC 149.
July 21st, Scotiabank Saddle Dome in Calgary, Canada. It's the first event that the UFC has held in Alberta, Canada. And
72,000 strong.
It's not that kind of card.
13,500.
In perhaps the most cursed UFC event in the history of the UFC.
How so?
9 fighters have withdrawn. Yoshihiro Akiyama, Thiago Alves, Jose Aldo, Zia Badurzada, Michael Bisping, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, George Roop, Thiago Silva, and the latest, Claude Patrick. In addition, Eric Coach and Shogun Huga removed from the card due to opponent injuries. Wow. Talk about a fucking marketing nightmare. Imagine if you bought tickets for this thing, thinking what... I tried to figure out what was the original scheduled card. I can't even remember anymore.
I don't even know. I'm not impressed with this card.
You're not impressed?
Hence why we're only going to cover
2 fights. So, that being said...
Yeah.
This co-main event is sponsored by...
Who?
Defense Soap, where offense wins matches and defense keeps you on the mat, Mr. Matt.
I thought you were going to say it protects your cornhole.
It does protect your cornhole as well. I have to say that Defense Soap is one of the coolest products I've used in a while. I have, like... They also sent me some of these, like, wipes or whatever. So, like, after... No, just kidding.
Well, it'll keep the shine down?
No. Like after grappling, like I noticed, especially before you get, my gym they don't have a shower there, so I don't live far. But basically, like the points where people grab your wrists, your neck, and all that stuff. You can take the wipes, you can wipe those down. It's nice. I like the dome.
Thanks.
Getting the reflection over here though a little bit.
I got my
degrees. Kind of bright in here all of a sudden.
Degree.
You should check this product out. They have a million different products. You got soap. You got the gel for the loofah or whatever, right? And then there's the wipes. There's now laundry detergent. And you should check out the code that we have down here.
You can save at least 10%.
Yes.
If you're lucky, 10.5.
Till the end of July. So if you want to buy some Defense Soap, check that out. Use the product. It's awesome. That being said, let's talk UFC 149. Hector Lombard. Tim Boetsch.
He's a barbarian, no?
He's supposed to be.
Hence, we got Hector Lombard. He's 31-2-1 versus Tim
the Barbarian
Boetsch. He's 15-4. Lombard, 55% of his wins by KO, 23% by submission. Boetsch, 47% by KO, 33% by submission. The odds from BetDSI: Boetsch plus 245, Lombard minus 305. It's a curious fight.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this supposed to be? Lombard versus Stann. It was supposed to be Boetsch versus Bisping, and now we have Lombard versus Boetsch.
Correct.
And Lombard's on like an 8 million fight non-losing streak.
Correct.
25 fights.
Yes.
25 fights.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not lost in 25. Is that a lack of competition in Bellator and other leagues?
Partially yes and partially no, but he is also very good, and I think he's one of those guys that just peaked. The UFC just never quite got a handle on him at the right time. Obviously, Bellator has contracts as well, so they want to keep this guy around a long time. And with all the stuff they're doing with Spike, I feel like Bellator wants to be the competition for the UFC. So I'm not surprised that Lombard has been over there for that long. But that being said, I don't think the UFC jitters are going to be a factor in this. Given
not as a first fight. He's fought.
Yeah. He's very well seasoned.
Fought,
he's
Ingo.
seasoned guy. And I would say, Boetsch is, because he's moved down weight classes for the last few fights.
He's undefeated at his new weight class.
Yeah, but when he fought Okami in his last fight, he should have lost that thing. I mean,
first 2 rounds weren't so good.
No, he got the shit kicked out of him for 2 rounds.
Almost stopped, right?
Yeah, and then somehow miraculously pulled out a knockout.
You know why? Because his corner told him, like, the way you're gonna win is you go out there and rape him. Well, okay, I'm gonna do something. Okay, get after it.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. And I mean, Lombard, I think it's just the odds. I think the odds are ridiculous. Do you have odds for us?
Yeah, it was plus 245 and Lombard minus 305. I think it should actually be a little bit higher on that.
Because I mean, Lombard, better striker, better grappler, stronger, bigger, faster, experience, everything else. I have Lombard like via rape in the first round.
Oh,
I know
that's my favorite.
I know Boetsch is tough.
Smells like it.
But I have a feeling Lombard is just going to come out and just destroy this guy because Boetsch, he has a tendency maybe to not be so careful in the first round, and he feels like he's tough. But Lombard hits like a freight train, that guy. So
yeah,
I'm thinking this is over quick. Don't blink, and it's going to be crazy. What do you say?
Well, I'm not gonna. This is a problem. When we both agree, we usually fuck things up.
Oh no! Do you agree with me?
Yeah, take that. But sorry. You can't even. Some people would say you could take Lombard. If you can get past the first and the second round, you get him into the third round. It's like deep water for him, but it's not because he's knocked people out in the third round.
Yep.
Granted, he typically does it in the first few rounds, so I just don't see it. I think this is a weird matchup, and Boetsch seems like a nice guy, but it's not going to be his night, and I think it's quick work, and Lombard takes it, and he might get the next title shot for all I know. That's what they're saying.
Well, they're lining him up for it. I think that's why they want him to fight it, at all costs, is just get this guy to fight so that they can't just bring him in and have him fight, for the title.
Yeah.
But
you got to build it up a little bit. Hopefully win in dramatic fashion.
Can you imagine? Okay, so if he wins, you get him versus Silva for the New Year's Eve card, and then you could put Overeem and like Junior on that card. It could be like the greatest card ever.
I'll tell you what will happen. 75% of the fighters will get injured.
Possibly.
This injury epidemic is a problem. It's a curse.
It could also be a blessing.
All right, so we're both taking Lombard. Educate ball. There's a lot of bald heads here. You should feel intimidated, Ingo.
1, 2, 3.
Outlook is good for Lombard.
Uh-oh. I think the curse has been broken, though, hasn't it?
No, we fucked some people up the last card.
Did we?
Yeah, because 3 of us picked. What was the last card? 148.
Yeah.
There were 2 fights where we each picked one guy, and the 8-ball agreed, and that person lost.
Ooh.
I don't remember offhand, but you can check those at home, and I'm sure someone will.
Check your facts, people.
On all that.
That'll bring us to sort of sponsors.
Kind of sponsor.
We already
Who
did
do you
one.
want?
Well, I don't know. I didn't
Bet
know.
DSI.
I didn't know if we were doing regular sponsors.
MMA HQ.
MMAHQ.com, the world's best daily deal site featuring the latest fighters, trends, and brands. They sell 1 item per day until it's sold.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Check them out. Go there. BJJHQ is another website. They got like supplement
HQ.
Penis juice
Big
HQ.
Black.
BBC
Cranium HQ.
Somebody actually posted it on our YouTube when it's the BBC is British Broadcasting Channel. As if we don't know that.
No, it's a British Broadcasting Corporation.
Oh, whatever.
Or channel.
It's the same shit. Doesn't matter.
ABC.
Always be closing?
BAC.
I don't know what that is.
Big Asian cock.
Okay. It's never happened.
Do they have
like fucking impossible?
But can I get a big Asian cock dildo? Do they make those?
No.
I've never researched this topic.
Probably not.
I've got a new task.
Big
task at hand.
Also, during sponsors, perfect. That BetDSI.com. If you're looking for big Asian cock, that is not the website to go to. But if you want to bet on mixed martial arts or other sports, check out BetDSI.com. BetDSI.eu/MMA nuts and get your bonus.
The 20%
bonus.
Yes.
Yes, for betting on all things sports and things, gambling all around. Matt's putting his hat back on.
My head's getting cold. There's this draft. There's a vent right above us.
Yeah. So go there or be square.
Go there or be square.
Yes.
Are you ready? You want to main event this fucker? Let's do this. Oh, sorry.
What the fuck? What is that? Like
Yeah, that's
Bob?
Dudley Do-Right and I think that's Snidely Whiplash. You ever watch that?
I know the faces, but I don't know their names.
They look scary similar. More so, Mr. Faber, Renan Barao. He had that mustache, but I figured you might as well have a little good versus evil, even though Barao's not evil. And
Could be.
Faber's not good.
Isn't he part of Black House? Black House. No.
Nova Scotia or
Jose Aldo.
yes.
Nova Unao or something.
Don't worry.
Unao. Bing. Back to
We'll go back to normal.
Oh, that does. Just the resemblance is
it's
quite
it's
striking.
there. Just saying. All right, we got Renan Barao. Is that right? Barao.
I think so.
Barao.
Bahao.
Barao.
I don't know how to fucking say his name.
He's 28-1, one no contest versus Urijah.
La California kid.
Faber, he's 26-5. Barao, 21% of wins by KO, 46% by submission. Faber, 27% by KO, 54% by submission. The odds from BetDSI. Faber at plus 155. Barao, minus 185. This is a confusing fight.
Why?
Because wasn't this supposed to be Faber versus Cruz, but then Cruz fucks up his knee, and then there's a debate, is it going to be Barao, and then who's it going to be? And then section.
It's Barao.
There's another guy has not lost in 29 fights.
Interesting.
This is, but
29 fights.
it's so ridiculous.
Okay. Awesome. Very good.
It's almost going to be like a blueprint of the Jose Aldo fight to me. I just don't. I look at the Jorgensen fight, like Barao just fought Jorgensen, and Jorgensen could not get a takedown and had to fight Barao's fight. And it did not work out well for him. Granted, he lost the decision, but what can Faber do differently? If Jorgensen can't get the takedown, I don't see Faber, maybe a little bit better wrestler, debatable, but I don't see him getting the takedown because Barao's takedown defense is like 90%.
90% takedown defense and 80% takedown success rate. By
Right.
Barao. I wrote these stats down. It's
So
interesting you have the same stats.
yes, it is sneaky.
So he can stop the takedown and get the takedown whenever he wants.
So basically, he can dictate where the fight goes, and if you can dictate, typically you can win the fight.
Usually.
And seeing how he has Jose Aldo in his camp / corner, first-hand experience fighting Faber, do you think the recipe is going to be leg kick, zombie leg? Faber can't fucking walk, but he's tough as fuck. He'll break both his hands and still kept coming at you. He can't even walk for the 5th round, and, you know, Aldo's compassionate fucking champion, so he doesn't even throw the leg kicks because he could have just chopped him, but what's my point? Faber's tough as fuck. Barao is just like similar to Aldo. The only thing that Faber has that some of these guys don't have, in Barao's case, he championship fights, used to being the headliner, fought tougher opponents. I don't think Barao's been in deep water, and then maybe that's Faber's only chance. Get him into that 4th / 5th round, might have a chance, but because Barao's fight all day, all night, probably decision because Faber's tough as fuck. So I'm going to go Barao decision. What say you?
Well, you said a lot of what I have written down.
I say
actually.
words.
Almost to the T. Here's what I think.
Parallel thinking?
Something. That's fun sometimes. You ever do those games? Parallel thinking games?
No.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fight. I think that Barao's record, while quite stellar, is perhaps lacking slightly in top-tier talent.
Oh, you're saying he's a can opener.
Where, I
What's
guess,
what are you saying?
could be.
It's got hot in here all of a sudden.
It's because you have your
I
head
have the
on.
head.
It's got to come up.
Fuck.
So I feel like Urijah has a plethora, there's that word again,
He's using 25-cent words, and all I got is a nickel.
of fight experience in comparison with top-level guys. He's been in the big fights. He's been in the championship fights. And I think this guy has one thing on his mind. He wants to get back to Dominic Cruz at all costs, because you know what? Right now, Cruz is about as vulnerable as like a deer with a broken gimpy leg, in the woods, and there comes like this like wolf from is just hanging around and like, look at that fucked up deer, whatever. Because even whoever fights Cruz is, I think either one of these guys will destroy him.
I thought you were gonna say like vulnerable, like an altar boy to like
perhaps. In the
church
mounting
type guy.
From behind type fucking in the
vulnerable,
ass
like a woman with like a leg brace that has just fallen down, but gone face down, ass up.
It's possible if you just want to exploit opportunities as they come your way.
Hey, I just happened to fall and my dick went straight in her ass. It was not my fault.
I fell.
Did not plan this.
Slipped and my dick fell in. But I think this is a nightmare matchup for Faber. You are right. I think Barao has the ability to dictate fights wherever they may go. What he doesn't have the ability to do, I think, is predict what Faber's going to do, and I feel like Faber...
the unpredictability?
Yes. I think Faber... I think if Faber's smart, he should go against all logical thinking and just come out like he did against Mizugaki. Balls to the wall, just fucking... Who gives a shit? It's you versus me. We're going crazy, and he's going to go ahead and just bring it and not let Barao play his game and try to dictate the takedowns and all this bullshit. I feel like Faber finishes in the first round via submission. I think he's going to surprise Barao with just crazy Urijah Faber, the guy who got knocked out when he was a champ, the guy who finished Mizugaki. I mean, this is what we need. If he goes late rounds and all this, he's going to get stopped before that happens. I think there's no way.
So who are you picking?
Faber, first round, submission.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a rear naked choke. Here naked choke. The here naked choke, not even the rear naked. Here.
Hear me now, believe me
Smart
later.
Money says bet your money on Barao.
That's what Smart Money says.
But
it doesn't mean it's right money.
I'm not smart. I'm just saying. I mean, Faber just seems like, man, he's hungry.
Well, it's experience and don't get hypnotized. He got hypnotized in the Cruz fight.
Mm-hmm.
There's all that fucking smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
Sticky
Is he going to be able to do that now with his fucked up leg? Cruz. Like,
I hope not.
play
I hope he's got to stick and stick.
He's not going to be able to move around so easy.
He's the fighter that I like to watch fight the least. Like, I'd rather watch John Fitch fight than Dominic Cruz fight.
Ouch.
And that's something.
There's a guy who's been off the radar for a while, too. He just had a baby or something.
What happened? He had, like, a nice mustache and... Yeah. He was trying to win the facial hair awards for 2012 MMA Nuts style. Not going to happen. All right. Let's get out of this fight.
Hey, Paul.
You're taking Faber. I got Barao.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead. You picked it up. What's yours now?
What's the question? Is Barao going to win?
You can just say it in your head. You don't have to go announce it. It's all good.
Uh-oh. My reply is no. So that means
Faber for the 8-ball.
I don't use the 8-ball, so I don't know.
It's all good. It's not have to worry,
tricks
kid.
That it has. Viewer mail. I have no viewer mail. Do you have some?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not even dialed up, but I'll get it.
Facebook?
I'll get it in a second. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm out of
So, Rua0001 off of our YouTube account asked, who is the most overrated fighter, excluding Michael Bisping, Matt? I've got to go with Guillard since Jake Shields' hype has been derailed. What gets me is people constantly make excuses for him. So, who is the most overrated fighter, and you can't take Michael Bisping?
Overrated?
Yeah.
This is a tough question. I'm trying to think now.
Well, you're going to have to think while I work on the rest of the questions.
Who is the most overrated fighter? I would say...
Franco Colombo.
Overrated, in my opinion, would have Franco Colombo.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw that video pulled up from Franco Colombo blowing out his knee from fucking
if you want to see something gross,
World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Google Franco Colombo, World's Strongest Man refrigerator, and it's horrid. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, you do. Don't lie.
I am going to go ahead and say overrated fighter.
Chuck Congo.
Jon Jones.
Oh, but see, he backs it up.
Yeah, I hate Jon Jones. Fuck you, Jon Jones. I don't know.
Might as well just say GSP then.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Who comes in with a really high rating? What's over?
Who comes in that... Well, that's the thing. It's like, if you take Bisping out of that equation, who else can you have?
Because Bisping's like #1 on the list, I would say for sure. He's like a #1 by a large margin. There's nobody even remotely close, is there? I mean, who are we talking about here?
I'm going to go with Big Nog.
Yeah.
Well, he was.
Big Nug.
That's not a fair
Overrated.
fight. That's not a fair fight.
I have no answer. I plead the fifth.
Oh, that's how we're gonna be.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah,
Did you pose a question today?
I'm working on it.
I'm slacking.
All right.
I'm in like.
Ben Hub asks, if you had to pick a fighting families / brothers to fight each other, who would it be? And I'll throw some options out to you. So you have the fighters that you could choose from. You have the Diaz brothers. You have Nate and Nick. You have the Miller brothers, Jim and Dan. You have the Overeems, Valentine, and the other one.
Alistair.
Yeah. There's probably some other brothers.
No,
What about the guys in the Warrior movie? Weren't they brothers?
I didn't see that movie.
Neither did I. And I almost wore the Warrior shirt tonight.
Did you?
Almost.
Almost.
Had it on, took it off.
Said that. I was going to wear it too.
Was it gray with red on it?
No, I have a black one.
Oh. It's too bad.
Who would I like to see fight?
Yeah, out of the, I'll give you the three options.
Probably the Miller brothers.
Ooh. That's dirty.
Yeah, well, I think those guys are both tough as shit. So, I mean, I know the Diaz brothers are, but I just think the Miller brothers would come out to kill each other probably. So, the Irish.
Yeah. Well, I think you actually get a good fight out of almost all the brothers fighting. But I think I want to take the Overeems because I want to see Alistair just destroy his brother, heavyweight style.
That'd be crazy.
Or you could go the Emeliankos.
Oh,
Fedor versus, what is it, Alexander or?
Mm-hmm. Alexander.
The terrible.
Emelianko.
Yeah. All that's good shit. All right, here we go. Next question. Emil Van Erickson asks, game planning versus winning fights. Quite headliners have been weird / boring fights recently. Diaz, Condit, Maynard, Guida being the obvious examples because people don't want to lose their title shot opportunity. And I get that. On the other hand, the fights are supposed to be entertaining, and with fights like this, I feel could hurt the sport. Anything the UFC can do about this? Game planning bullshit.
No.
UFC can't do anything?
Well, yellow cards. You mentioned this a few times now. I think they'll never do it because I think the American fans won't. I don't think they'll go for a yellow card, red card thing.
Don't they do that in soccer?
That's for.
I don't watch soccer.
That's for. Okay, that's just like fucking raping somebody and like blowing out their leg or whatever. Then you get a yellow warning and then you get like kicked out.
So if you headbutt someone, that's okay.
That's not what the card system would be for.
Sorry.
In MMA, the yellow card would be like for stalling. I don't know. I think it all comes down to this. I think the refs need to have some level of what do you even call that? Like
cattle prod?
No, cattle prod.
I don't know. You need something to poke the fighters when there's a level of inactivity.
A school of refereeing where they all have like a specific. They have to have a standard for what they consider like too much action, not enough action, on the ground, standing up against the cage, where they break guys up because of this particular reason. Because some guys, like, shit's happening and maybe the ref doesn't quite understand like what kind of position game's going on, and they break something up that like a guy's about ready to pass and maybe get mount or something, and then he's like, oh, you're not doing anything, and then other guys just let shit go on forever. It's like,
it's a 3-second rule. It's like when you drop food on the floor, right? You count the 3. 1, 2, 3.
I have a 10-second rule.
It's 10 seconds. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Maybe they need a 10-second rule in MMA. Shit ain't going down in 10 seconds. We go. You guys got a stopwatch.
Yeah.
It's either a pride card system or a stopwatch 10-second rule. In, out, done.
Yeah, I
fair?
like that.
Good.
Well, just to kind of touch on that.
Go ahead.
Comprito plays a game in class recently. I don't know where he picked this up from because we never did it before.
Do you have clothes on or no clothes?
Yes, clothes on.
Okay. It's called hide the salami.
It's a 3 second. It's called 3 seconds, and you go for 3 minutes with somebody, and it's 3 seconds. You cannot be in the same spot for more than 3 seconds. You can go for submissions, but you can't finish them. So imagine like you're grappling with somebody, but you have no fear of being finished. So you're always like moving from one thing to the next. It's exhausting, but at the same time, it's like fun. You know what I mean?
If I finish you in 3 seconds?
No, it's not. The point isn't to finish.
I can't finish you?
No.
I could get you right to the point?
Right.
You
can sink in a triangle, but you gotta let the other person do the right defense to get out of it.
You can't tap. You just gotta.
Right.
Okay.
Fun stuff. So if your school isn't doing that, you should recommend it.
You guys are doing something wrong.
He calls it flow rolling.
Hide the
flow
salami.
rolling. So.
Flooring.
Flow rolling.
Okay, Connor Hills asked, did Bonner retire?
Yeah, apparently.
Kind of.
Unless the fight is too...
Well, I think the UFC missed a big opportunity because I think Bonner was right in saying, like, him and Forrest Griffin as coaches on the next Ultimate Fighter, and we should mention this, because the pairing for the next Ultimate Fighter of fucking Roy Nelson and Shane Carwin is probably the most retarded pairing you have yet. Roy Nelson will be interesting as fuck, but Shane Carwin is, I don't know what happened out there. I gassed out.
He might surprise us. Is he
going
to be like a Tito where he's like the best coach ever all of a sudden?
He has no person.
It doesn't make sense.
He may be really nervous. I'll give him that. In the post-fight interview questions and any interview I've ever seen him, he's Mr. Monotone. There's barely a heartbeat, but maybe it's just nerves. So maybe as a coach,
that'll be awesome.
I'll give him that. And then who's the other coaches? It's Soteropoulos and Ross Pearson.
That one I like. I think that'll be interesting. It's UK versus Australia.
Yeah.
That should be an interesting card. So, no, the heavyweight thing makes no sense to me. They could have picked so many other people.
I would have rather seen. I think Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner. You got both of these guys that launched the Ultimate Fighter show. They're both at the tail ends of their career. They could have done the. They didn't even have to fucking fight. I wouldn't have even cared if they fought at the end of the show. But both of them are interesting guys that would have made for a fucking awesome show with both of them being coaches. So that one's still out there. You should fucking make that happen. So
it's probably too little, too late now.
I guess, but
man, fight a year from now, whatever. I mean, the coaches don't have to fight, do they?
They don't have to, but they always sell it on that. But then one of them gets hurt. It happens all the time.
These things happen in MMA.
They fucking do, Gus Johnson. Where is that silly bitch? I miss him on those Strike Forces.
Putting lipstick on.
Purple lipstick. So hot. Oh, here we go. Frank Fleming says Fighters.com is reporting that Belcher and Vitor will be facing each other. Who do you think takes that one? You know who I'm going to pick.
Well, if it's...
Lyoto Machida.
Lyoto Machida.
Ryan Bader.
It's a tough fight, man. Vitor is really tough to handle in the first 3 minutes.
He does have steel in one of his hands now.
Now he does, yeah.
Is it titanium? It shouldn't be legal. I always thought, like, if you broke your hand, you got, like, metal in there, isn't it a little more devastating? Is your hand, do you have heavier hands?
Maybe.
like, literally and figuratively.
One's a pound, 0.2. I don't know. Vitor's tough in the first 3 minutes. I think if Belcher can withstand that, which, he likes playing with fire, so maybe, who knows? It's going to be tough.
It's true. Damon Sassy? I'm sorry, I'm calling you Sassy. I don't fucking care. Deal with it. What is pound for pound? Is there even such a thing? It's ridiculous. If it's the best in their division, then obviously middleweight is a weak division. If it's every fighter in the same weight class, then everything would be totally different. It's ridiculous. I hate when Dana White says it, and it doesn't mean shit. So I guess the question was, what is the pound for pound?
Well, I look at it like it's the guy who, if all things being equal, like weight was not a factor, is the best in the world. But the problem is how the hell do you... I mean, I don't know. I think it's just like you just throw shit out there. You can say Anderson Silva is the greatest of all time, but Anderson Silva never fought at heavyweight. So how do you know that Silva would beat a Brock Lesnar would beat... I mean, you have no idea. So you can only say, well, if Brock was 50 pounds lighter, Silva would kick his ass. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, why can't they have an absolute division? If you have it in jiu-jitsu, why can't we have it in MMA?
So how would that work?
I don't give a fuck. Just make it happen.
So guys could just like, okay, so if you have an absolute division and the guy has a title in his division.
You can't lose a title.
There could be another set of rankings for absolute rankings, and only the title guys have an opportunity at fighting for the title of the absolute division. Is that correct?
No, I just want anybody to fight anybody. I don't give a fuck what weight classes are for.
You're gonna get crazy guys like BJ Penn trying to fight like 250-pound. Like,
who cares? He could probably do it and win. What's he has to do? Like
his head knocked
the lighter guys just run around for a few minutes, gas the heavyweights out, and then move in for the kill. Get that neck. The neck is this big, as Hoist Gracie once told me.
So it's this big?
Well, this is back when he was gonna fucking fight that sumo wrestler. Like, this is UFC 2-3 days way back in that day. Like, Hoist, how you gonna beat the sumo wrestler? His neck is like this big. I choke him out.
You know what else is this big?
No, I don't. The doctor trying to finger fuck my ass and check my prostate. No. But no, the doctor doesn't use this little weak ass finger. I got the chubby fat doctor with the chubby fat finger. It says, oh, what's going on there, buddy?
You have that done recently?
No, not for. It's probably actually been a while. I should probably go get finger fucked this week.
Just because.
You know, it's probably given a good 10 years, so I'm thinking I need another man's finger up my ass. You know.
It's all good.
Do they have female doctors that do that? You know,
They do, but it's a little weird.
They're uncomfortable because I saw a female gastroenterologist. What are those? A GI doctor? Just call her a GI.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to have that upper and lower, whatever they call that move, where they knock you out and then they jam a thing up your ass and a thing down your throat. And
I believe that's called rape in some countries.
It's a cock or a snake. It's a king cobra. But
okay.
Yeah, it was a female doctor, and she's like, she was more comfortable than I. I just had all this pain. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. What do you need to do? You want to knock me out and stick a thing up and down me? Go for it. She's like, well, let me just give you the name of the male doctor that can do this procedure for you. I'm like, whoa, what's going on, doc? I'm cool.
Well, I've had physicals for female doctors. It was quite weird.
Yeah, I think I told you that story too. I had that one where something was going on, and she wanted me to pull down my pants, and like the blinds were open, and she's like feeling my business, and then a family of 4 gets into the minivan outside the windows, and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? She's like,
nice,
working it. Like, yeah, your testicles feel all right, Mr. Griffith. Like, goddamn right they do. Goddamn right they do. Wasn't that kind of doctor, but
okay.
Shit can get awkward. I'm totally cool with it. Whatever.
It's whatever.
If I'm hurting, I don't give a fuck.
Just fix my shit.
Exactly. That'll shut down viewer mail.
Good. Knowledge segment.
Yeah, I'll just a little bit. So you know how you're on your iPhone and it tries to tell you about the wireless networks that are around you?
Yes.
I was cruising through the neighborhood the other day trying to check the emails at a stoplight. Well, I wouldn't do that while I'm driving. Mm-hmm. And one of the networks that pulls up and says, "Get these balls." Like, that's awesome. Good for that guy. Like, anyways, you see any like weird names ever on
networks?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, not so much.
I don't know. But my area, everyone's kind of further away, so I don't think I pick up local networks from them.
I do it when I'm driving here and there. If I'm at a stoplight and you're in a busy town, it's like,
I promised my wife no texting or emailing while driving, so the phone is in my pocket, next to my balls, to make sure I get cancer sooner. Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's going to give all of us cancer. You watch.
It's all good. Whatever.
God, wants to live forever.
Ball cancer.
I
had a dream the other, a week ago or so, where I was dying of cancer. It was pretty bad. It was horrible. Like, people coming to visit me, and I was like bald and shit, and like fucking dying.
I wouldn't know anything about said cancer.
No, not bald. Like no hair. Just like.
Oh, I got 3 days of stubble here.
Not even facial hair. Just totally fucking bald.
Like, don't do chemo. I'm not. If I get cancer, I'm not doing chemo.
No.
All my research says that'll kill you more than
faster.
Trying to do it natural.
It's poison, man. Yeah, it was a horrible dream. It was like everyone was coming to visit me, and my son was there, and it was just like he was older, and I was dying. And my wife's like, "Oh, you always eat so well. I don't understand." You know, my wife's like eats like shit constantly and smokes and drinks and whatever. And it's like, I don't know. You gotta go sometime.
That's true. You know what? You ever look into the meaning of that dream?
What does it mean?
It means you want to fuck Ronda Rousey.
Ooh.
No doubt about that.
Do I have this opportunity?
It's either, maybe it's a threesome. You, her, and Kim Kardashian. I'm just saying,
because she is a judo black belt, and is she a jiu-jitsu black belt?
I don't know, but she can armbar the shit out of you.
If there was going to be some kind of sexual encounter, I'm not sure I would have the choice in saying no. I'd just be, hey.
I think she'll just break your arm, and then she might make you fucking check your own prostate.
Especially all the shit I said about her. Oh, wow, maybe.
Yeah, see, did I ever mention how cute and beautiful Ronda Rousey is?
No.
I
believe this is the first time.
209!
Watch, if we ever meet her, she's probably like the nicest person ever.
I'm sure she is. She seems like it.
Or not. With that being said, let's wrap this thing up. That's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. Thanks for tuning in, hanging around. My name's Igor Weigold.
I'm the Hev.
The Baldy.
Mac Riveth.
See you guys.
Thanks for playing. Mr. Queen says.